Okay, this is Chris Mitchell reporting for Black Sheep magazine, and I have the distinct pleasure of having a little sit down with two of, well, I'm a fan personally, but we'll leave that to the side, two of the most respected artists on the independent scene right now. We have Phonte and Nicolay, collectively known as the Foreign Exchange. How you doing, fellas?
Good, man. What's going on?
I'm doing good. You know what the crazy thing is, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm mentally going back to when I bought Connected. I bought 2 copies because one got stolen, but that's a different story. I remember hearing Raw Live for the first time, and then when the live drums come in on the third verse, like my life ain't been the same. I'm still messed up. So just to talk to you guys is definitely an honor.
Cool.
Now, we've been waiting for you to hit the UK for years. Like, you guys formed in what, 2003 or 4?
Yeah, officially 2004.
All right. Okay, so what's taking? How come it's taken 6 years to touch the UK as the Foreign Exchange?
Money wasn't right.
So the promoters weren't coming with the correct paper.
Yeah. Motherfuckers gotta get their paper up.
Oh man.
This is keeping it real with the Foreign Exchange.
You know, one thing about you guys is I know this interview is we're gonna have some real talk. We're gonna definitely have some real talk. So, you guys are Grammy nominated now.
Yeah, tell that to my bank account. It doesn't really
now no check come with it.
Oh man, so I mean, talk to us from sharing files online from the OK Player forum. You shared some files. You became the Foreign Exchange. You hit up with BBE. Now you're doing your own thing. Where were you and what were you doing when you found out you were Grammy nominated?
Well, yeah, Phonte was asleep. Yeah, Phonte, Amy, who's our director of operations.
That's your missus, right?
Yeah.
Right.
She got the call and from the organization.
Okay.
I just really at first, truth be, I just didn't believe it. I was just really kind of like, it's not like I didn't see it possible, but we hadn't really ever put it in like that. We hadn't really done the whole politicking and everything that kind of is involved with normal Grammy campaigns. So in our case, really, the music just really was what prevailed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's really the thing that I was proud of the most. And I don't think it necessarily changed anything for us because we were already kind of on our path anyway. We knew very well where we were going, but it was definitely some extra, boost and recognition from people in the industry. Definitely opened some doors. Other doors stayed closed though that I thought were gonna open. We'll talk about that. So it's not like, once again, it's
always something.
So Lady Gaga didn't put in a phone call.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, she had a poker face on.
Oh man, let's take it back a bit. Let's take it back to like maybe 2005. Phonte, I was on the Justus-League forum, right? And I read something. You weren't sure at the time if there was going to be a second Foreign Exchange album. What changed your mind to say, okay, me and Nicolay, we got to connect and do this second album?
Well, at the time, I mean, I guess it wasn't really anything that changed my mind. It was just at the time, Nick, he was working on, I believe, the K album with the timeline.
The Here shit.
Here, he was working on his solo album.
Right.
He was working on a solo album here and was in the process of trying to, come, get into the United States. So there was just a lot of stuff going on. I was deep, into everything with Little Brother and stuff. And so me and Nick had just kind of lost contact. Like, we weren't really talking like that. And I was like, damn, is Nick mad at me or something? You know what I'm saying? We wasn't even talking. So, I mean, we ended up, reaching out to each other. And,
okay.
And it was just so much stuff going on, man. You know what I mean? And so I didn't even know a Foreign Exchange album in the midst of, him, trying to come into the country and me trying to fucking survive at Atlantic Records. I mean, a Foreign Exchange album was just the furthest thing from my mind. But once the smoke kind of cleared, Nick came stateside. We began to, and me and Pooh began to, extricate ourselves from the contract from Atlantic. That's when things just kind of became a lot clearer, and we were able to sit down and really map out a plan of attack for what will become Leave It All Behind.
Gotcha.
And I think Leave It All Behind was really when we became a group, like
I agree.
Group. You know what I'm saying? I think with Connected,
that was just kind of like a side project.
Yeah, like
Connected was a side project.
Yeah.
So you're saying to me, one of the best albums of my life was a side project.
Yeah, man. I mean, because when we did it, I was I was, just full time and little brother, and just, it was that schedule was very demanding. And so, me and Nick, I knew it was something with this cat I liked. I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy, this shit is dope. But I didn't have time to really devote, into it all the way. So Connected was just something that, man, it was just we thought it would just be a one-off, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I like this cat, he's crazy. We'll probably always make music together in some capacity, but as a foreign exchange, excuse me, we just connected. We just thought it would just be a one-off.
Okay.
Like something we just did, and that was it.
And here we are, 3 albums later.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, Phonte, I'm just gonna stay with you for a moment. Okay, you put out a tweet last weekend. When I saw the picture of you and Ninth, I was like, I felt like I had squashed the beef with someone who I had problems with. Do you know what I mean? I just for the fans, tell us, how it went about, who made the first step, who made that phone call, who made that email, and possibly what's going to happen going forward in terms of your friendship.
I got you. Well, through the years that we had not really been talking to each other, we had like several like mutual friends who were had been friends of us, like both of us from all through the years from day one. And so one of them, a buddy of mine, my buddy Phonte, who is a childhood friend of mine that I've known since I was 13, and so he is one of the producers in the Soul Council, which is Ninth's production team at his label IWWMG. And so man, Phonte had just reached out to me one day because me and him would just be talking and stuff, and he was just like, look, man, he's like, Ninth he's down to rap to you, but he just he doesn't want to like come to you like with the level head and you just be amping and shit, And I was just like, man, it ain't like that. Like, if he's willing to talk, I'm willing to listen. And so that was actually New Year's Eve, and I was like, if he's willing to talk, I'm willing to listen, whatever. So New Year's Day, Ninth reached out to me, and he was like, look, what's up? Let's rap. And so, we came to the crib, we had to sit down, and, we rapped for like, 5 hours straight.
On New Year's Day?
Yeah,
wow.
New Year's Day. And,
so
until it was the second, like,
So it was symbolic of a new start then?
Yeah, it really was.
Okay.
In every way.
You mentioned in your tweet that you had some food. What did you guys eat?
What did we eat? Man, everybody wants to know what the fuck was on that plate.
I know you got a thing for chicken wings.
Oh yeah, I didn't do the wings. Everybody was like, that plate can bring world peace. It was my wife had cooked. She had made what do we have, man? It was we just had like a salad with like a balsamic vinaigrette, black beans, rice, and she had made a dish called pernil, which is most like Latinos make it. My wife is Dominican, so she made it, and it's pretty much just like roast pork. It's pork shoulder, with like all kinds of like just spices and stuff on top, and it crisps over. And the top is crispy. And
she must have put something in the food. She's she thought, Patrick's coming over. I'm gonna sort this out.
Yeah, so that was
big shout out to Mrs. Coleman for squashing the beef.
It was cool. So we just sat down, and it was just really I think we both were surprised, that just how much each other had grown over the years, and it just, for me, just the lesson in everything was this, that, if you're having problems, with someone, you always have to, you always gotta at least talk, because when the worst thing you can do is not talk, because when that happens, it just leaves so much room for misinterpretation and for just, it could be anything. At least if you talk to a motherfucker and at the end you walk out and decide, I hate your fucking guts, at least you know what you hate them for. You know what I mean? At least y'all know that. But when you are not speaking, man, it just leaves so much room for things to get misinterpreted and for so many misunderstandings. So, we were both just really happy. And, I spoke again. He was over at the house. We were all over at the house. Me, him, Nick, Amy, we were just all over there just before we came over here. And it really felt good, man, like for all of us, I think just to,
yeah, it really did.
Just really bring it all full circle. Because, through it all, I've never, in all of my dealings, regardless of how I felt about it or stuff that we were going through personally, I always, give him his props, and I always, commended his work, when I liked it, because no matter what, we made each other, and he is a part of, the very foundation that me and Nick are standing on right now, and it's the same thing that, on his side, without no little brother, there would never have been a foreign exchange, and everything else. That was really the training ground. That was the start for it. So it was really good, man, just to kind of see things come full circle. And we talking about music. We definitely, going to make something. But as of right now, it's just really just about repairing that friendship and
no doubt,
just continuing to catch up with each other as friends.
No doubt. So let's talk about the relationship between Phonte and Nicolay. Now, I know Phonte's a comedian, right? He be saying some things on Twitter. Like Phonte said a joke the other day about female producers and Logic and Reason. I was dying.
I know, that was the best one.
That's like, that's like, did you come up with that?
Yeah.
You did? Because I've seen people retweeting it like it's their own.
It happens. That's the sign.
Right.
You're getting stole and shit's getting stole. Yeah, it's cool.
So let's talk about it now, because I'm a humorous guy sometimes, and I tend to offend people sometimes with my humor. Nicolay, has there ever been a time where Phonte has said something that was funny to him, and you just thought, no, Tay, you went too far? Because there's been times he said something about, there was a video about white folks. He makes references to some white folks.
I hate it when he does.
And it's fun. No, it's funny. It's funny to me, just for the benefit of the audience. We love every.
But I'm not white. I'm European, so it's like.
All right. No, I'm riding for home team now.
Okay.
So we're European.
Yeah. No, it's no.
No.
Simply no. There's never.
He's never pushed it too far. You're like, no, Tay, you said something.
Far. No, there's been times where I was just like, ooh, but I owe it. In a lot of ways, like, he's got the type of humor that I respond to very well. Like, it's a lot of shock and awe, you know what I'm saying? But there's never been a situation.
But not without truth.
Yeah.
That's the thing with me. Like,
it's the best humor,
I might
really.
say some shit that,
it
may make you feel a certain way, you might, whatever, but there's no denying, it's the truth behind it. And just with the whole Logic and Reason thing, I do that one in particular, like,
you do know that some stand-up comedians are gonna steal that, though. You know that.
Man, hey, if that's my legacy to the world, one tweet, fuck all the music I done did, all the shows, and all the damn bled and lost my voice and shit. Fuck all that. That one joke is what I'm defined by.
No doubt.
That's what it is.
Just one last question before we wrap this up. There's something that I want to know as a fan. Like, with your artwork on the albums, it's very abstract. It can mean a lot of things. I remember when I got connected and I saw the dude and the girl, I was like, what is this? Even with the minstrel show, I'm like, why are these guys smiling? Rappers don't smile. Like, tell me about, particularly with the new album, Authenticity. It's a leaf, and there's another leaf. And I'm reading, I'm thinking, I'm trying to connect the image with the title. And I'm having a hard time. And I know it can mean many things, but when you guys were putting it together, what was the inspiration behind it?
Well, I think that, again, there's a lot of different ways you can look at it, but, in nature, we were just trying to find something, that represented authenticity just in nature for the artwork. And one of the suggestions at first was like a thumbprint or a fingerprint, and it was just like, well, that does represent authenticity, but that's a little too kind of literal. So then, the idea came about from one of our art directors of Leaves. And the whole thing with Leaves is just that there are no two leaves like have the same vein pattern. You know what I'm saying? They're replicated millions and millions of time over, but you will never find two leaves with the exact same vein pattern. And so we just kind of took that as a metaphor just for people. You know what I'm saying? Authenticity is ultimately about the search to find that whatever it is in you that makes you uniquely you. And so even though it's like millions, billions of people, there is something that you have that is unique to yourself that makes you stand out from all else. And life, is really just about that search for authenticity, that search for yourself in essence. And so with the music and with the, a lot of the themes in the record, we just felt that was just a fitting metaphor, both just for life itself and also for where me and Nick are at in our careers now, and just that everything that we do is all about trying to get to that best version of ourselves and really find who we are as a band, who we are as artists, and you know, just really just be as true to ourselves as we can.
Okay, guys, I just want to thank you for doing the interview, and I know you've had a long flight and I've been yapping on. Any last words at all for the Black Sheep readers, for your fans?
Man, I would say thank you so much, man. I mean, you know, to everyone that is...
Not bad from a guy from North Carolina sitting in Europe about to do
bro.
a show.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, shit, who would have thought, bro? I
Yeah.
could have been in the goddamn sawmill somewhere or some shit. So, thank you, man. I just, you know, to everyone that's been buying the music, downloading it, you know, streaming it, stealing it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? However you got to it, whatever led you to this point, I sincerely want to thank you. Because it's it really is a blessing, baby, to make the music that you love and succeed on your own terms. So just thank you so much.
And we'd like to thank the Foreign Exchange. Make sure you check out their music, and if you want to keep up to date with your Foreign Exchange news, you need to log on to www.blacksheepmag.com.